Los, geht jetzt, die Luft ist rein. Here's a neat little expression in German. Die Luft ist rein. Literally, this means the air is clean. It's an expression that comes out of the 1800s or so and was originally used by criminals to mean something like it's safe to proceed, we won't get caught. The equivalent expression in English would be the coast is clear, which has its origins in the 1500s or so and was originally used by pirates and smugglers to mean much the same thing. Yes, we're back to take another look at Star Wars Rogue One. Let's see what other neat little translation surprises we can find in the German version. Du wirkst auf einmal so nervös. Was ist los? Wir müssen uns beeilen. Diese Stadt ist ein Pulverfass. Du wirkst is a German expression which means you look or you seem, even though the verb wirken on its own usually means to work or to operate. So saying du wirkst nervös in German is the same as saying du siehst nervös aus or you look nervous. Pulverfass, in case you've never heard that word before in German, means powder keg. Interestingly, we have the same figurative expression in English, so the line in English could have been, this town is a powder keg. Not literally, but rather in the sense that the mood here is very tense and violence could break out at any moment. Instead, Andor says, this town is ready to blow, which basically has the same figurative meaning, but I kind of like the German translation better. Alle imperialen Kräfte wurden evakuiert und ich halte mich bereit, den gesamten Mond zu vernichten. Das wird nicht nötig sein. Wir geben nur einen Vorgeschmack auf das, was später folgt. Die heilige Stadt sollte für heute genügen. So, Krennic is ready to show off the capabilities of the brand new Death Star and wants to blow up the entire moon. But Tarkin is playing it a little conservatively here and decides to just destroy Jeddah City, a decision which would ultimately lead not only to his own death, but also to the destruction of the Death Star itself. Spoiler alert. The line in English is quite poetic. Tarkin says, that won't be necessary. We need a statement, not a manifesto. This lyrical phrasing was lost in the German translation where Tarkin instead says, wir geben nur ein Vorgeschmack auf das, was später folgt. Vorgeschmack is literally a pre-taste, or you might say appetizer in English, a small dish that's served before the main dish. Tarkin is therefore hinting that the destruction of this city will be a preview of much greater destruction to follow. I kind of like the English version better here. Das ist ein beschlagnahmtes imperiales Shuttle. Wie lautet Ihr Rufzeichen, Pilot? Wir müssen los. Sag irgendwas. Rogue? Rogue One. Rogue One? There is no Rogue One. Tja, jetzt schon. I love this line. I love this line for two reasons. Number one, tja is such a versatile word. It has a bunch of possible English translations depending on how it's used. Tja is what they call a filler word and doesn't have a specific definition, but rather its meaning can vary greatly depending on context. Here, it basically means, well. The other reason this line is great is because it highlights a possible usage of schon that might not make much sense at first glance. Schon usually means already, but that would make no sense in the context of this line. It turns out schon can also be used to contradict something that someone just said. For example, keiner hier hat genug Geld dafür. No one here has enough money for that. You could reply to that with ich schon, meaning I do. Another example, versteht das nicht, aber ich schon. He doesn't understand that, but I do. Here, K2SO says, tja, jetzt schon, in response to the flight controller saying there is no Rogue One. The English equivalent of this line is, well, there is now. Now, I've heard that Darth Vader cracks a joke in this movie, but that seems a bit out of character for him. Let's take a look. Achten Sie darauf, nicht an Ihrem Ehrgeiz zu ersticken, Direktor. Take care not to choke on your ambitions as he's choking the guy. Oh God, that's terrible. That's terrible.